Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a brief little check-in on how my planning system is going and do a deep dive into the personal ring setup that I used for the month of August. I think last I left you, I was in an A6 Techo Avec Summer Fling experiment, and I had a lot of fun with that. I dipped in and out of that a little bit in the month of August. And I really do like that setup. I'm kind of filing it away for later. It's the closest I've gotten to feeling like I'm not going to run out of pages in a bound book in a while. So that was kind of a nice little experiment, but ultimately I missed my ability to reorganize my inserts and rings. I was finding that even though I had everything written in the planner, flipping back and forth between the dated portion of the Avec and the grid notebook was getting a little bit too much for my brain. So I did end up doing a full reset in personal rings, and I'm actually in the process of downsizing back to pocket. I don't know, seasons changing. It's starting to feel like fall here, so my planner systems are changing a little bit too. But before I fully move back into pocket, I really liked this setup, so I kind of want to give it its moment here on YouTube and document it. So with my personal ring setup, I did a full-on reset. So I took out every single sheet of paper that I had used thus far in 2025 and started from scratch. And I did a whole redesign of the inserts themselves, and I'm still working on creating listings. So the minimal line is what I'm calling it, and it's all inspired by bullet journaling. So it's like a very faint grid DIY type of style, pretty minimal layouts, but it's all 3mm grid, which I really like. And the lines are incredibly faint, so there's some printing tips if you do end up picking up any of the inserts, but I'm slowly working on adding these to the shop this month and next month. So hopefully they'll be up by the end of September if you are interested. But yeah, personal. I love personal because it is my all-in-one everything book when I can make it work for me. I plan in here, I memory keep, I journal, work planning, sketchbook, shop stuff, anything I want to do on paper. Personal is a really great size. It's still fairly portable for me, but it gives me enough space to do my journaling. Now that I'm moving into pocket, my journaling kind of has to move out because I can journal in pocket rings, but the smaller page is pretty limiting for long form journaling sessions, and personal kind of allows me to still do that up to a certain point. So this is my filofax original, which is one of my favorite covers. It's super simple. They're still in production, so they're pretty easy to pick up as well. My dividers are by filofax, and all of my inserts are my own designs, and they are printed on MD cream paper. I buy the A4 paper pads and I tear off the sheets individually and then run them through my printer, but they're completely fountain pen friendly, and I am team cream paper, so I absolutely love it. In the front, I've got a Moomin picture to combat the hobo FOMO. I am still trying to figure out if I'm going to be ordering from Hobonichi this weekend. I think the answer is yes, but this has been my attempt at trying to calm myself down. My very first section is my monthlies, and I hope the camera picks these up. So the grid is incredibly faint, and then these don't have like a dark outside border. The grid doesn't extend edge to edge, but I really love how it just kind of melts into the page. But I'm doing my mood log in the sidebar, appointments, all of that like normal, and then my running to-do list for the month at the bottom too. I did set up the rest of the year in this because I'm sure I will dip in and out of personal, just kind of depending on what I need. And then I, at the end of my monthlies, I did print an adulting log just to start tracking appointments for 2026 that I have on the books already. My next section is my tracker section, and this is the main reason I keep going back to my rings, is that I found that I'm taking on some new projects. I'm actually about to start a low buy year right after Hobonichi launch day, and I don't know, I just like having all my trackers together. I keep up with them a little bit better, and I did pare them down a little bit too. I still have my mini monthly fold out, which I use to do like my meal tracking, so I have a color for when I have alcohol, eating out, eating at home, that type of thing. And these stickers are by Stylogy. I have a annual monthly. I'm tracking my cycle on here. And then on the back side, I have my exercise log. I'm gonna skip through this because I'll probably do a separate video, but I am starting to track my low buy a little bit on here too, working through my rules and things like that. I've got my adulting log. Same as always, I talk about this spread a lot, so I won't waste too much time, but this is a mix of when did I last and non-automated tasks I need to complete annually to be a functioning adult. So I just took a pencil and subdivided these into their different categories. So the top section is monthly, then quarterly, then I have vehicle, finance, and doctor's appointments. Those are kind of my subsections. Nothing currently on the back of that insert. I haven't made this an insert yet. I just took the notes version from the minimal line and drew up my own package and spending tracker. So for me, this is date, money in or money out, the description, and then whether that product has been shipped and received for any online orders. I'll probably turn this into an insert because I do a monthly spending log every month. But on the back of that, again, I just drew out a quick little wish list for the month too. I've got an offcut that I punched for a destash I did over on Patreon, and then I added in a new log. I'm logging when things about our house, basically. So like from move-in day to like, hey, we noticed some damage on our garage, to we replaced some deck boards, that type of thing. So anything we do for 2025, I just want to kind of log that, so I've got reference for that for the house. And then on the back, I drew out a weekly cleaning checklist for the remaining weeks of the year. Just a notes page for some deck projects that we're about to start. And then I have my forever in my planner Stardew Valley fold out that I made myself. These images are from Reddit that I just kind of whipped up into a fold out. Section number 3 is where I've kind of made the biggest change. I actually have switched up how I'm doing my weeklies, and I'm really liking it. So I've got this new size. I'm calling it the layering dashboard. These do not work with pocket rings, but it's going to be kind of like a one size file. It's about 5 inches tall by just shy. It's like 2.5 inches wide. For the pocket version, I did it on a 2x3 photo freebie, and they're so stinking cute and tiny. But this is how I'm doing my weeklies now, because one thing I've noticed this year is I'm really struggling to keep up with my habits, or I've gotten really lazy at doing my daily habits. And I was thinking through maybe like more successful years versus like how things have been going the last couple of years. And I think what I've identified is that since kind of really fully committing to rings, I am a daily girl and I kind of need to see my weekly tracker every single day to sort of like feel motivated to do the item, do the task, to kind of see all my little check marks build up. So I've got my previous ones just sitting at the front of my dailies, but the reason I moved to this is when I am in my as I've mentioned, I'm kind of in pockets, so I just switched over. But basically the idea is these little weeklies, I have slit my punches. If you've not seen that before, I just take a pair of scissors after I punch them and do a quick little cut here. I wouldn't do that with my previous paper. I was printing my inserts on Tombow River paper. That's a little bit too thin. I find that when you slit your punches and you pop pages in and out, it does damage the paper. You've got some weak points, so I wouldn't do that with Tombow River paper, but with the MD cream, I feel like I can totally do that because the paper is a little bit thicker. But what I'm loving about it is I sit between my daily logs for the day or the week, and I can see my weekly spread in one go. So this is the weekly dashboard. I've got a habit tracker at the top, a running to-do list throughout the week, and then on the back, there are 7 squares so I can write in my appointments and any date-specific notes for the day. So as I'm sitting on my daily log, I can keep up with my habits directly on here and kind of see that. And then once I finish these 2 days, I will flip and then I pop the weekly directly in there. And I'm absolutely loving it. It's not groundbreaking by any means, but it is the small change I needed, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I am carrying this concept over into my pocket rings as well. So these are new and I'm absolutely loving them. But in general though, I'm doing the vertical daily, no change other than the aesthetic refresh of kind of this like really faint 3mm grid, but I do my date at the top, my running to-do list throughout the day, and then at the bottom I typically draw a line, and then I will do memory keeping at the bottom of the page. Don't journal every day. It's just kind of as and when I feel like it. I often pop back and kind of finish out inserts as I go, but I've been watercoloring on this paper. I am using my fountain pen on here, my Pilot Vanishing Point and Extra Fine inked with atramentis document black this year. So having a lot of fun with that, printing off pictures and things like normal, punching in ephemera from Happy Mail. And yeah, I don't know. I really love having my to-dos and journaling in one space. It's worked really well for me over the last couple of years. So no major change to what I'm doing, at least on this part, other than instead of having a weekly section at the front, my weeklies are now tucked in between my days, and I just kind of move them along as I go. And that has been a huge game changer for me. I do currently have the full month of dailies print and cut in here. I usually keep at least 1 month at a time in my ring setup. Oh, and then I haven't mentioned, so these clear dividers, they are by Randy.plans. She brought dividers back to the shop this summer, and she is my divider dealer, so I would 100% recommend. And then I've split my punches on these because I do move them as well, and I use them as bottom tabs versus top tabs. Okay, so following my dailies, I have my journaling section, which I mentioned I like personal because I can journal in here, so I can use this as my one-stop shop, everything type of book. And I did make some margin notes pages this time around because I really enjoyed having the margin when I was using the A6 Tetra Vec, my little fling for the month of July and August. And yeah, so I brought that over. These are already in the shop. I'm using some of my review cards. This is the music review card to I've been listening to the SideQuest album a lot this month, really enjoyed that, although now it's been replaced by Karma. I'm obsessed with the Karma album by Stray Kids. But yeah, print off pictures, do a little bit of journaling. I've been reverting to messy cursive lately, which has been nice, and again, I can use all my fountain pens on this paper, which I have been absolutely loving. Section 4 is my shop section. There's literally 2 sheets of paper in here. I've got a sticky note with some reference for inserts, some ideas for a YouTube video on an offcut page, and then my DIY listings checklist. So there's a lot of new listings that I'm working on coming up, so stay tuned for that. My shop is the Ghosting Pen, by the way. I usually have it linked down below with a 10% discount code, but if you are a patron, you get an additional discount, and we're doing a super sale because my Patreon birthday is in August. So shameless plug if you want to hang out or support me over there. And then I have my work section for my day job. I am still using my standard size hobonichi weeks, which is kind of my preference. I'm about to pick back up traveling again for the last quarter of the year. Wish me luck. So I definitely prefer that, but when I am at home, sometimes it just is easier for me to do my work planning in rings. I've just been doing running to-do lists. They are nothing special, but they're back here collected. And then finally, I have my sketchbook section. Let me just flip that there. Blank MD cream paper, pencil and pen, just kind of whatever I feel like. And I'm kind of gotten back to sketching, which has been nice after I haven't done a whole lot of art this year. So I'm trying to kind of get back into it. I've got the top loading clear pocket from Filofax, with just some pictures that I want to use some journaling, some stickers in there. This is the plotter page lifter, which I've got in the back. I've got a paper clip and kind of this top slit with a hobonichi pencil board, which I use as a straight edge. This is the week size that I cut down, so it's a little bit shorter because the hobonichi weeks is slightly taller than personal, so it'll stick out. But yeah, that is my all-in-one everything personal ring setup, and I just wanted her to have a little bit of a moment on the channel because I am downsizing to pocket because I'm traveling a little bit more this fall. So this is kind of what things are looking like in here. It is almost identical. It's like exactly the same setup. So I've got the same minimal monthly and then all of my trackers in here. And yeah, I'm liking it. It's really cute. And I don't know, I just needed kind of a fresh feel, I think. And I kind of got locked in. It's interesting because I like rings because I can switch up my planner just on a dime, and I since I've made my own inserts, I kind of feel like I got into a bit of a rut, and it took me just kind of being like, wait, no, you can design fresh inserts. Like, you don't have to just stick with the one type for eternity. So yeah, it's exactly the same setup, 3mm grid, same minimal lines. I am using the horizontal dailies, of course, in Pocket, because that just works out a lot better for me with the space, because the rings don't typically get in the way with a horizontal insert, and Pocket just feels very narrow if I try and go vertical like I do in the personal size. It's just a better use of the space for me. But I am using the little layering weekly. They're super cute and tiny in Pocket size. I think they're freaking adorable. But yeah, same thing, a little bit of journaling in here, not a lot of journaling because I find it's just too small of a space. I'm kind of on a journey to figure out my journaling system now that I know I want to be back in Pocket, but I think I've got it locked in, but we'll give it a few weeks before we do. I've got like a fitness tracker section because I'm starting up my fall exercise program, and then again shop inserts, and then section 6 is currently work running to-do list, same plotter lifter band, and then a bunch of receipts that I need to mail in for rebate in an ollie clip. So this is my Vanderspec. This is a VDS custom in Janet Dark Brown, by the way. I ordered this I think in January, but I haven't really used it up until now, and she's finally having her moment. So yeah, general update, I'm moving into Pocket, which means my journaling system is going to switch up a little bit, but we will hold on that until we get there. If you are ordering from Hobonichi this weekend, or from any of the US resellers like Yoseka, Atlas, Jet Pens, etc., I wish you luck. If you are overwhelmed by Hobonichi, don't worry. Almost everything typically gets restocked by October, so if you don't get what you want, there is a good chance some of the collaborations don't restock, so I don't want to give you false hope, but also, like, it's okay. It's the end of August. We still have 4 months left of this year to figure out what we're doing, and a lot can happen in those 4 months, so don't be like you have to have everything figured out, because I know there's a lot of pressure right now to do so. But also, it is a lot of fun to hear everyone talking about their systems, and I've definitely been thinking about 2026. But anyway, thank you for joining me today, and let me know if you are picking up anything from Hobonichi or if you're team rings right now. But I will talk to you soon. Bye.